it was being pitched around Richard Hart's streams and stuff. He was talking about the incentive token,
Yeah, no, that's
using
exactly what
it.
happened.
So yeah, if you can burn it, if the supply gets burned like at a big rate to be able to claim Pulsex, I mean, that would be pretty good for the price.
Great point.
Well, Samuel, here's what I want you to think about, Cake. So Cake is the version of, that's basically where we got our idea for our token, right? Is a swap token that has high utility in the form of staking for third-party tokens, right? You know that. Cake inflates 80% a year. The price goes down nonstop. It inflates for itself. Ours is nonstop deflationary, and it has an automatic buy and burn. It's gonna be insane, dude.
The buy and burn is absolutely revolutionary. People don't even know, but most people, half the people in Pulsechain, Pulsex probably haven't even touched the testnet, don't even know like how amazing and powerful that is.
Tell them, Samuel.
Really, that shit's gonna be amazing. Yes, it's like Cake, of course. Especially the first couple versions of it were like literally the same color scheme. It was like, oh no, but it's so much more better and pretty looking now.
The evolution of testnet from when it first came out to where it's at now, and then we, how did Richard say it? He said it was tested. It's tested out of the yin yang. Testnet is tested out of the yin yang. May launch soon. Let's go.
The DAO ideally in Pulsechain and Pulsex is going to vote on which ones can go to that third-party pool. So when I say it doesn't matter what that token is because we don't know how those projects are going to do right now. Some of them are going to 10x, some of them are going to 100x, some of them are going to go down by 90%, right? We don't know which ones are going to do what yet. And we're not going to know when it first happens. So my suggestion to everyone is you stake if you have one that you like, put it on there. If you don't have one that you like, just stake in all of them, a little bit in all of them. Break up your bag, stake in all of them. And what you should do, what I'm going to do, what my strategy video is going to go over, and what my strategy is, you take 60 to 80% of what you make in those third-party pools. You recompound that into Pulsex. You take 10 or 20%, you go into stable. You take 10 or 20%, you keep it as that third-party token. Because like I said, some of them are going to 10x, some of them are going to 20x, some of them are going to do nothing, some of them are going to go way down. But some of them are going to 10x. So as long as you catch a couple of those, you can decide, hey, I like this project, I'm going to go use that protocol and compound in there now. Or you say, hey, this thing fucking 10x, I'm selling for stable, or I'm selling back into PLSX. And with your stable, I suggest that you hold that as stable for dips, right? So PLSX goes down by 50%, well, good thing you held 20% of your bag in stable that you can now re-up with. Because on a big dip, you will double your bag based on the amount of stable that you've held on to. On a big pump on your third-party tokens, you will double your PLSX bag based on how PLSX is doing and a possible 10x on your third-party token. So that's the strategy right there.
Isn't the PRT token only for testnet, or is that for real?
Correct. That's correct. So when I say PRT token, that's because that's what we have on testnet. Now that will be third-party projects, right? So forgive me, admin. Let's just say Liquid Loans makes a third-party pool, right? So you take that loan token and you would hold it or sell it. But ideally, that's how the DAO will work. We will vote on what goes to the third-party pools.
All Pulsex holders are only part of the community. They're not the core.
So things go from the community pools. They get voted on. The devs decide or whoever decides if it can go to the core vote, and then it goes to the core vote, and then we vote on that there as well.
We'll start rolling about 4 months, about a third of a year, about 4 months when everything comes on. The shillers going on YouTube where people follow. Some people don't like to do their own research. They want to be a little bit of sheepish. That's fine. There's no reason why you can't be a sheep. Follow what somebody does. Once something gets onboarded and these individuals are shilling their own bags, because a lot of these guys who don't talk about it are secret investors, secret sacrificers. A couple of them got found out because of all their doxing themselves a little bit. People kind of know what their wallets do. Anyways, that's fine. That's no problem. But once things get going, things going about 3 or 4 months, that snowball will start to rise exponentially. You're going to weed out a lot of people that want to cash out fast. You're going to people are going to go 5 to 10x. People are like, this is crazy. My $100 just gave me $1,000. I'm out. Or my $300.
Oh yeah, I mean, you'll get a lot of those on day one.
You're going to shake them. They're going to shake them, man. But if you stay long, like I tell my own boarders, hey, look, 24 months minimum. You want to really change your life? Wait 3 years, 4 years, but 24 months will be an amazing portion, or amazing opportunity to take a small portion to, do what you got to do with it. Stay that long haul, son.
I personally, I don't mind telling people this either. I don't really give it. I only have like $2,000 sacrificed, so I don't have a problem holding through. I feel like you're right, like at least 24 months. I think I'm not really sure how much 2,000 is going to make me on this, but but it seems like if it goes right, like, you know, we're all gonna be pretty happy with it.
There's a conservative estimate between 200 and 500x the first 24 months. So take your money, multiply it by 200 to 500, then you got your possibility.
Right. And I'd be happy with that. I think I'd be happy with that. I think anybody would.
Yeah,
especially those that sacrifice a lot.
I agree with what you said, James, with you know, if everybody onboarded at least one person, I mean, dude, this thing is going to definitely go to the moon, you know, like,
yeah, for sure.
Because we've got, you know, 100-something thousand, you know, wallets to sacrifice to Pulsex. There was, you know, I forget the
I thought it was 40,000.
No, there was, I think there was.
Yeah, it was 38,000 for Pulsex and 140,000 for Pulsechain.
Right.
No, I think it was backwards. It was the opposite. Yeah, it was 40,000.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it was
the opposite. 100-something thousand for Pulsex.
That makes sense though, because people missed out on Pulse and they're like, oh shit, I don't want to miss this one. So yeah, makes sense.
Well, and then you got a ton of people waiting for launch that couldn't, or missed out, or couldn't sacrifice.
Oh, right.
Or, you know, for the either sacrifice. So I would say we probably got a solid 200,000. You know, and if each of those people onboarded one person, that's 400,000. I mean, dude, like we're starting off with more users than any other project in my research that I've been able to find.
Yes, sir, James. Crypto, being a sacrificer.
Now, what were you gonna say? Being a sacrificer, what?
Well, the supply of Pulsex comes only from the sacrificers. The total USD value of the sacrificers. So there's gonna be no more coins in existence after the point like the sacrifice phase was over. So from now on, all the coins that are gonna get generated in the circulated supplies are gonna be burnt for fees, from fees. Yeah, we have total control of all the circulating supply. The people who sacrifice.
The sacrificers have the total control of all the coins, which is about 150 trillion coins, and it's a buy and burn mechanism. So my question, basically, eventually, years from now, a couple of years from now, when tokens are going to keep burning, and it's going to be low demand, is it going to get to a point where the gas fees are going to get expensive because the tokens are going to become lower? So then there's going to be supply demand. The tokens are going to be more expensive, and is that going to cause the gas fees to be more expensive, like Ethereum is now? Because obviously, when Ethereum came out at 32 cents, people didn't complain about gas fees, but now that it's $2,000 to $3,000, it's more expensive. So I'm confused about that. If somebody can clarify for me, please.
Yeah, the early use of Pulse will be a fraction of a penny, of course. As it gets adopted and used, like you said, over time, Pulse will get more expensive, of course. But it's not going to be the absorbently expensive as Ethereum because it's proof of stake, not proof of work. There's not Ethereum miners being paid for their service in solving complex equations. Proof of stake concept, proof of stake fact. It's a different use case. So while it will get more expensive, it won't get exponentially expensive like Ethereum has.
Hey, whoever was talking about that earlier, can you expand on what you were going to say? You said something about us sacrificers. I just wanted to hear the thought you had.
Yeah, Crypto Drone here. So the guys that you see here, including yourself, as far as being a sacrificer, OGs in the near future. A lot of us got 10,000 PLS per dollar, and similar to Pulse X. So the individuals adopting these things afterwards, they're getting on board, getting a good deal, of course, with a tier 1 network that's going to do really well. But anybody who sacrificed has taken the risk or what have you. And if they don't have paper hands, you know, if they have those diamond hands, you know, you're going to be talking to ones 2 years from now that's, you know, going to be talking about, like, oh, yeah, I sacrificed. And they're going to hear about the sacrificers, and people are going to ask, what's a sacrificer? And people are going to like, well, you know, they didn't buy Hex at they didn't buy Pulse at a half a penny, or, you know, whatever, or a penny or 2 cents. They didn't buy it at a penny. You know, a couple years ago they got, you know, 10,000 per dollar. So yeah, those guys are sitting pretty. You know, they took the chance, and if he didn't sell out at 100x or 500x, those ones will, because you know how many people have absolutely regretted selling their Hex when it went to, you know, a penny or 2 cents or 3 cents. You know, went to that 600 or 700x, 1,000x. You know, a lot of people sold out at 1,000x. 10,000x, but 10,000x could have had 10,000 more.
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't want to be that person for this. I really don't.
So you think about it, it's going to be hard. I mean, we think it's going to be easy, but we don't see the future. See, you're going to look at it 700x, whatever money you put in times 700, and it's going to have a lull for maybe a little while. There's maybe a price won't move. Maybe it's going down for 7 months. Maybe it's gone down, and people are like, "Oh my gosh, I've lost $30,000 in 7 months." Maybe it's found its top. Maybe it's found its peak, and people are going to sell out. They're going to get nervous. They're going to sell out. Maybe not all, but maybe portion. And people got to live. People want to enjoy some things, so they're going to sell out. But if they stay that long haul, 24 months, 3 years, and don't happen to sell anything, the potential is life changing, generational changing.